Mike Tomlin, very critical of his undefeated Steelers performance yesterday. Pittsburgh has 5 games remaining on their bid for a perfect regular season. You can see right there. Up next, they host Washington before traveling to Buffalo, then Cincinnati, and finishing home versus Indy and at Cleveland. And I have some bad news for Steelers fans like yourself, Stephen A. Bud Dupree has tore his ACL. The team has just confirmed that. Max, I want to start with you here, though. Are you confident that the Steelers will have a perfect regular season after that narrow win against the Ravens, who didn't have many of their starters?
No, I wouldn't put it like that. I wouldn't put it as I'm confident they will go undefeated, but I think their odds just went up, not just because they got a game closer, but because, and the Dupree thing stinks. I mean, like, you want to get out of there without a defender, losing him for the season. That hurts the Steelers. But if that were going to happen anyway, right? Like, if you're good, that's just a fact. Let's table that for a second. They have Washington next week on a short week. Remember, they're supposed to have their bye. They had to take it early because of the Titans. Then they had to take their bye late, a mini bye late. But then it's not a mini bye, and now they're on a short week again, guys. So, that really hurts. And what did Ryan Clark tell us, Stephen A? Best time to play the Ravens or the Steelers after they play each other. And Washington, which is a no-name brand team and actually a no-name team nowadays, is actually ascending and plays defense and is a little tricky. So that would be a trap game. That would be a tough game otherwise. But Stephen A, the fact that they won so sloppy and that coach is coming out here basically saying you almost could look at this like a loss, sort of, right? Like, that's the kind of message he's sending, actually helps the Steelers, who have a tough part of their schedule coming up with the Bills and the Colts and the Browns. I think their odds just went up that they go undefeated.
I'm less confident. I don't like what I saw yesterday. I'm very distressed about it. I don't blame Mike Tomlin for calling him out the way that he did. I'd have him running suicides today. I'd have probably cussed him out after the game yesterday and told him how pathetic that they looked, and this is not reminiscent or replicating any kind of championship caliber play whatsoever. And I would tell you this, the one good news that comes out of this is their schedule, because I don't think the Steelers need to go into the postseason undefeated, because I think they'd probably go home in the first playoff game because obviously things are going to elevate exponentially. People will be far more serious on their P's and Q's, and I think it could ultimately cost them. So I like the idea of the Steelers, in all likelihood, losing a couple of games before the regular season ends. I believe that they will lose at Buffalo, and I think either Indy at home or Cleveland on the road at the end of the season are games they will also lose. So I think that the Steelers will probably end up going 14-2. At least I hope that's the case. I'm not even ruling out a loss to Indy. I think that between Buffalo, Indy, and Cleveland, they'll lose 2 of those games, go into the postseason 14-2, yeah. But I think they need to get humbled. I don't think that Baltimore, because they looked equally awful, even though they had legitimate excuse not having Lamar Jackson, having McSorley and RG3 throw the football, basically do nothing with the exception of the 70-yard touchdown pass at the end of the game by McSorley. The bottom line is that the Steelers' offense was the story to me, because they looked horrendous. It looked inexcusable.
Where is your imagination?
Excuse me?
As a Steelers fan, where's your imagination? As a Steelers fan, Stephen A., the Steelers might be. They're arguably the greatest franchise in the history of the NFL. You could argue it, especially the Super Bowl era. And that franchise,
I haven't had a Super Bowl since 2008, Max.
In a year where we need something interesting, some good news, Stephen A., they have a chance. It's an outside chance, but they're still undefeated this late in the season. Well, you have to be rooting for that.
Max mediocre. You know how you are. I mean, give a dog a bone every now and then. You perfectly good with that. I need more, Max Kellerman. I need more. All right? Damn it, it's been since 2008 that they won a chip. They lost the Super Bowl in 2010. It's been more than a decade. I want a damn Super Bowl, okay? And I want them to be able to compete with Patrick Mahomes. That is where I stand.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.